Come on, let's celebrate. There's a party going on right here. A celebration to last throughout the years. So bring your good times and your laughter too. We're gonna celebrate your party with you. Come on now. Celebration.
I love that opening. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Shine with Curiosity and Encouragement podcast. Happy belated Thanksgiving. I hope everybody's Thanksgiving out there was exactly what you wanted it to be, I suppose. Lots of food, football, whatever you wanted it to be. I hope it was that. As always, we are sponsored by Soul Sunshine. If you are an aspiring author or illustrator or want to make your dreams come true when it comes to anything writing, be sure to reach us at soulsunshine.com. So my Thanksgiving was really quiet, for lack of a better term. My son had to work, so my daughter and I went to his work during his break, and we all shared dinner together. But in all honesty, it was one of the nicest Thanksgivings that I could ever have because my kids were happy. We enjoyed moments together. We didn't have any cleanup to do. There was no cooking. There was no anything. It was just the three of us. And a lot of times people forget on Thanksgiving that you share with loved ones. You enjoy that moment. You enjoy a meal. You enjoy the time. You see each other. You talk to each other. And of course, now that it's the holiday season, you um, go ahead and start talking about what you want to do for the holidays with that. Um, it's one of the things that I have actually incredibly prided myself on moving out from Colorado to Jacksonville was that I get to spend more time with my kids and it's just me and we got to remove ourselves from toxicity and a bunch of different things. And now here we are with just being fantastic and enjoying and loving. And that is one of the greatest things you can ask for as a single parent. Well, we have a special guest today. She is actually one of the most beautiful souls I have ever known in my entire life. Um, she saw me when I was at my lowest, invited me on to her podcast. We talked, set me up on a whole bunch of next foot forward with moving things in life at the lowest part of my life. And we've kept in communication ever since. So without further ado, let's bring up our special guest, Teodora Moga. Teodora!
It's so good to see you.
It's so good to see you too.
I'm so honored to be on your podcast, to be a guest, to talk to you, to share with you this platform, to just to be here and just enjoy this moment that we have together. I'm honored and I'm so grateful that you choose me to spend your Sunday evening with. So
Absolutely. You and me, we go 3 years now. 3 years. It's been a while.
time goes by fast for sure.
It does. It really does. And from where we were when we first met to where we are now is like night and day, completely different. It's just been a wild ride.
I have to tell you, I am really, really, really proud of you and your accomplishments and the growth that you experienced in these 3 years since I've known you. When we met, and I remember that I think it was a Mexican restaurant that we went and we sat down and you told me your story and you shared with me what you're going through and to where you are now. Look at you, like a podcast with thousands of viewers, hundreds of thousands, and a business and an author, a published author. I'm so proud of you, Stephen. You are an inspiration to me.
Oh, Theodore, you're gonna make me cry in this holiday season here. Thank you. It has been. It's been a long road, and you saw me at my worst. I mean, I was living in my car when we first met, and I went through the worst 3 years I'd ever had in my entire life. And there you were, just this person who could see past all of that and just welcome me and inspire me and bring me in. You're one of the most influential people I've ever met in my entire life. And I thank you for everything you've done for me.
You're welcome. It's what I do. I somehow think I was meant to just help people in this world one way or another. So,
Well, before we go any further, why don't you introduce yourself to our viewers and let us know more about you?
um, introduce myself. You had such a nice presentation in that intro, where you published, the intro for this. It was amazing, and I'm grateful for the nice words that you said about me. I was actually born in Romania. I came to the U.S. when I was 25. And speaking of Romania, probably your viewers are questioning the shirt that I wear. This is a very traditional Romanian part of the traditional clothing that we have in Romania for, back in the day when my mom and her, maybe her sister or women used to sew, and they would do this. This is done by hand. It's actually sewn by hand, and it's part of the traditional Romanian outfit, and I'm wearing it as we went to church this morning, my daughter and I, and tomorrow is the National Day of Romania. It's like the 4th of July, right? But it's Romania's December 1st. We celebrate Independence Day, where all the regions in Romania united and became a big country. And that's December 1st. So I'm proud to be Romanian, and I'm wearing the national outfit or national shirt. And there's more. It's not just a shirt. There's more to this, but this was just the comfortable that I choose to wear today. Came in the States at 25 because I wanted more from life. I wanted not necessarily more freedom, which America is so good at, offering freedom, right? I wanted more opportunity. I was a graduate. I graduated technical university, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't know left, right, up, down, like what, now what, right? You're graduating, there's no jobs. I'm a technical engineer, and didn't really know what to do. So I thought, I'm just gonna go see what's America all about. I came with a contract for a year, and love happens, and here I am, 20 years, almost 20 years, 19 and a half years later. I'm still in America, and living the dream, I guess.
That's what America brings. That's what America offers. The Statue of Liberty. Give us your poor, your tired, your weak, in huddled masses, and breathe freedom. That's what we as Americans love and adore. And I've noticed when it comes to immigrants that they appreciate and love everything that America has to offer. Whereas, being born in America, one of the hardest things that we do is we take things for granted on so many different levels. Yeah. That we forget what we're actually supposed to do. And with you personally, you were always so positive, even though you've had to overcome so much adversity. So how do you stay so positive?
There's got to be something deep in my soul that doesn't let me go into the negative side of life. I have to mention the fact that when I came to America, I wasn't planning on staying forever. My plan was to come for a year. I only had work contract for a year, but during this year, I met my daughter's father. And when my contract expired, I wanted to go back, but he saw the rest of his life with me, and he proposed, and we got married, and I became an American citizen through marriage with him, who was already an American citizen. So I did not. I wasn't going to be here illegal. Is what I'm trying to say. How to stay negative, how to stay positive in adversity and in a world that could be negative. I think I have another power that I always see the good in everything that happens. For example, the what was meant to be probably not forever love, right? The forever marriage ended in 2013, and it was very upsetting. It was very heartbreaking to go through a divorce when you're alone in the country and you have no family support. And now you have a 1-year-old daughter. So it was very hard, and through somehow you have to find the strength to keep going. You have to have the power, and you have to have a very strong why. And I believe in the positive of everything that happens. I always try to find something positive, because if it's a negative, I think about my body and every cell in my body that instead of smiling and being happy would just be crying and hurt. I don't want to hurt. So I'm going to always find something. For example, from the very disturbing and upsetting divorce, I was able to forgive, and I was able to look at the beautiful daughter that I have and realize that if I wouldn't have that marriage, I wouldn't have had that marriage, I wouldn't have my daughter. So there's a lot of adversity. There's a lot of things that happen, and not just to me, to all of us, to everybody. Everybody goes through, I'm going to say the word shit in our life.
Oh yeah.
We all go through. Why do I stay positive? I think about it's just easier. Like, maybe I'm a different kind of breed of person, but it's easier to be happy than to be sad. It's healthier.
I agree. And I will say that you are definitely different than most. But that's what makes you so amazing, is that you are able to take something that's negative and see the positive within it. You're able to be empathetic without being overly sympathetic, and you take that into yourself and feel that. Where I always listen and love is that positivity breeds more positivity.
Mhm.
So when it feels good and you spread the feel good, and it breeds more people feeling good, and it brings more positivity. The same goes with negativity. If you're constantly negative, you can start going into that downward spiral of just despair and, horrible, evil blackness that you're just like, I cannot do this anymore. And that's where you go into depression and
Right.
feeling like life is just too overwhelming.
I always have the T-bar in my mind. Thoughts become actions. Actions become beliefs. Beliefs. Is that right? No. Thoughts. How do we say that? Thoughts becomes actions, beliefs. I don't have it. See? Even this could be something that could be negative, but we can laugh about it. I don't remember it right now.
What's going to be funny is that we're going to be like 5 minutes from the ending, and you're going to be like, boom, 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 boom.
Come to me.
That is exactly it.
That's what's going to happen. You can't sit there and think, well, and I completely, absolutely, I'm on the same page with you. There's so many things that happen negative every day. Like, I have low tire pressure in my tire. Am I going to be here again, my car again? No, I'm going to be like, I'm thinking, well, what a great opportunity to go meet more people and see what this world is about. I'm going to go put some air in my tire and say hi to somebody that maybe needs a smile today because he's working in 22 degrees weather in Colorado outside. So that's always my thinking, is how can I help more people? How can I go out and do something good, even if something bad happens?
We need more people like that in this world. One thing I've noticed about you is that you reflect a lot. Being friends on social media, I will notice that you will go back on a post that you posted like a year or 2 or 5 years ago, and you'll comment on it, reflecting on that. You reflect so much in your life. Is there anything that you would change?
I don't think I would change. Um, I beat myself up for a lot of things that I don't do. But at the same time, I sit there and I reflect of all the things and that's a work in progress. I always think, and I always just observe or reflect on the things that I have on my list that I didn't do. Right now, I'm trying and I'm succeeding to seeing all the things that I do. So if I beat myself up, oh my God, I didn't get to do something today that was on my to-do list, immediately I turn around and I said, okay, Teodora, but you also did this and this and this and this and this. So would I change anything? Maybe I would be, if I would go, back in 5 years ago, I would be a little more courageous.
Mm,
I would be, I would take, I would take a little more risk, than be more safe. I would do more things in like my financial situation than be more safe and stable because I don't want to lose, right?
oh yeah.
So that's one thing that I would change, but I give myself credit because I've realized a lot of things in life being here alone in the past 20 years. So I don't compare to where I was to where I am now or compare to other people because it's really, I admire myself, my efforts, my where I am.
Oh
Um,
yeah, no,
I
I
don't
can
think I
100% agree with you.
maybe I
Um,
would change some things in the personal life, in the love life. That would be so bossy, even though I don't know if I'm bossy, but maybe some of my exes would say, "Oh, she's crazy." I don't think I'm crazy. I'm just Romanian. Um, maybe there
that that needs to be your slogan. I'm not crazy. I'm just a Romanian.
we tend to be loud and obnoxious sometimes and bossy. They would definitely, maybe Romanian women are definitely a little too bossy. So I would probably change that, but it
Oh
would,
no, no. I'm gonna stop you on that one. Don't change that because that is an amazing side of you. I'm sorry. If your past relationships couldn't handle it, it is a good thing they are gone.
I
And
am
I'll tell you, I
really
will tell you, your daughter shows your strength because she's got that fire within her as well, and it is beautiful to see.
not. It's interesting. Yeah, definitely interesting. I think, they maybe they were just not meant to be if they're not in my life right now or present, and we'll go with that.
Yeah, it's a lesson to be learned. That's
Yes.
what it always is. It's a lesson to be learned, which is good because you're still here and you're still positive and you still see things as the way they should be, and you're working to create them to the way you want them to be. And trust me, when it comes and it all comes together, it will be absolutely beautiful.
Reflecting, though, one thing for sure is that I don't regret anything.
Good for
Um,
you.
I have no regrets for nothing that I've done. Leaving my family behind, leaving the country, not going back, the divorce and how that all happened, in that time, going into business, personal decisions, ending relationship, taking people out of my life. I have no regrets. I really live a very content life. I'm at peace with all the decisions that I made. I'm very, I'm at peace. I think that's the right description of how I feel. I have no regrets, and I can, I reflect a lot, even during the day. I think, and I always try to come up with, what could I have done better in this situation. There was a situation today that I thought, oh my God, I messed up, I screwed up. I better apologize. I recognize immediately that I did something. So we always reflect. We're our worst critics, right?
Oh, absolutely.
I absolutely all the time want to be better and want to make sure that I don't say things that maybe I shouldn't have, or react in a situation. But no, I don't know. Maybe speak less if I were to change.
Oh, now that we've gotten to know you personally, let's get to know you a little bit professionally.
Okay.
Financial guidance is important. What's the one piece of advice you would give to our audience when it comes to their future?
Financial guidance, financial literacy, financial education, it is oxygen. You can imagine living without being able to breathe. You really can't. It's the same when it comes to financial education. I think it's so very important, and I think it should be introduced in schools sooner than college. I
Mhm.
think it should be, in high school, where children would be taught how to invest. What does it mean? Financial education, really true. What's the one piece of advice I would give? Invest for your children before they are born.
Ooh.
Invest, open investment accounts, and invest for your life. Invest. Leave beneath your needs. And I think it's so easy to swipe a card and not have that feeling of spending money because it's just not there. So I think I always, Alma and I, my daughter and I, are very good at making decisions when we make a purchase, based on, is it a want or is it a need? Black Friday was just, 2 days ago. So we went out, and I really I didn't even want to leave my house to go out, first of all, because I could imagine how many people were there. But eventually we did, because she wanted a few things, or even just to experience the Black Friday, um, like, fever, right?
Mhm, mhm.
So we left, and the parking lot at the mall was like I've never seen it before, ever, ever. And I was shocked, because working in financial, industry, I know how how hard it is for middle income families, and yet everybody's at the mall. So I would say, watch what are you doing. Have a plan. Definitely have a plan. There's um, so many opportunities to put a plan together, where you know where you are right now, the situation that you have financially speaking, and where do you want to be. How do you get there? It's like financial education is like a GPS.
Mm.
You're at point A. This is where you are. You might have debt. You might have, you have your own house. You have car payments, credit card payments. This is where we are right now. But we want to retire at 65. So how do we get there? Point A to point B. This is the GPS route that we're going to take. And if it's hard and it's unknown and it's so difficult to figure it out, just reach out, just talk to somebody, and just say, hey, I need help, I don't know what to do. But there's so many resources out there. We have in my office, we have I don't want to say free, because free is the most expensive thing in the world. We have available resources that are no cost, confidential, complimentary, that we can offer our clients, and they can just implement them. And we offer guidance at no cost. So the advice, I mean, I could talk on these subjects forever, but the advice to be, start early, invest for your unborn child, put $10 in that account for them at the age of retirement, they would be millionaires. And that $10 can come from that Starbucks that you say, maybe not today.
I feel you on that one. I feel you on that one. I think what needs to be changed though is that rather than financial guidance, is it should be changed to financial competence. I think going back to what you said, we need to teach people how to
Yeah.
balance a checkbook, the value of a dollar, the difference between needs and wants, the difference between am I going to be satisfied with this right now? Is it something I want because it's immediate, or is it something that's going to help me in the future? Because personally speaking, for me, I've spent a little bit more money on software that I know is going to make me more money in the future, because it is a little bit higher end, or it's a little bit more to what I need it to be, but it is not just a quick purchase. So invest in yourself as well. When it comes to investing in yourself, I know you've had some stories that were heartbreaking, um, where people waited too long and then something happened. Give us a story about a remorse from a client.
Um,
Don't need to give names.
no names. There, in the financial services industry, right? The way I build my business is over the kitchen table. Um, I I have 5 years being in the business, and I talk to a lot of people, and a lot of people will tell me, "No, not right now. We're fine." Right? When it comes to the financial house, it's like a normal house that you think. First, you go and you dig down in the dirt, then you put the foundation to stabilize the house. And then you put the walls, and then you put the roof, and then you make it pretty. Well, that foundation in financial services in the industry is you have to protect your house, meaning protecting your income, and that would be the first step to have a life insurance which protects your income. So when it comes to life insurance, so many people are like, nah, we're fine. It's okay. We don't need it, because they're looking at what do they spend rather than what does it do. And then you hear stories that, somebody's husband passed away, that you were at their kitchen table 2 months ago and they said no. That's hard. That's very hard. And it's heartbreaking because I feel that I didn't do a good job emphasizing how important it is to have it. Um, and I beat myself up because maybe I should have insisted more, or maybe I didn't. It's it's difficult. It's difficult to think about this because I care so much, and I just always want to do good, but ultimately it's up to my my client, my people, my friends, my family, my people that I sit down with. I can't tell them that you need to spend $40 to have coverage of 300, 400, 500,000 in case something happens to you, for the kids to go to college and the house to be paid and your wife not to worry about money.
Well, one of the things that we have difficulty with is tomorrow. And we are so living in the moment that we don't even think about tomorrow, let alone next year, next 5 years, next 10 years. Most people can't even comprehend that aspect of things. But that's why when something happens so suddenly, an automobile accident or a health scare or a new baby comes along or divorce or something tragic that happens and that you weren't thinking ahead that far, if you weren't prepared for that, it's going to be 10 times worse. At least when you get yourself to that point where you are okay in the future, if something happens, you can grieve. And I think that's what did it for me, was that if something were to happen and now I'm forced into how do I afford this, or what's the next step in payment, or how am I going to get the money from it, or now I have to work 10 times harder. Whereas if I had that reassurance, I can sit there and I can grieve in that moment. And that's where people really need to romanticize on it.
Yeah. and not just life insurance, but have a plan. Like I said before, have an emergency account that will cover expensive 3 to 6 months if medical or anything were to happen. Have that income protection, and then build wealth.
Absolutely. But we are coming into the fourth quarter, and we as Americans, we are consumers. We, as you said, with Black Friday, going to the mall, seeing people there, we love to spend money. Absolutely love it. I don't know if it's what we're taught or if we were always told that presents equate to love or not, but we need to break that mindset of instant satisfaction or that money or presents or things equate to anything else other than just a thank you.
My belief about this, when I came to America, I didn't even know what a credit card is. I never had a credit card. It's all in Romania. It was all cash money, and you have it or you don't. And I was told no many many times. I remember there was we lived in an apartment building, and at the bottom of the building there were stores, and one of the stores was a clothing store, and they had a mannequin, and the mannequin had this pair of jeans that were very much in fashion at the time, and I wanted them so bad. And I went to ask my mother if I can have money to buy that pair of jeans, and she said no, I don't have the money for that. I feel like maybe parents these days have a hard time telling no to their children because they know would mean I don't love you. I don't know where that comes from, but I have a feeling that's what they feel, and that's why they just offer and go in debt and just have no um, strength. Really, you have to be strong to tell your child, no, I'm not buying you that right now.
Right.
However, you can say no, I'm not buying you that pair of pants right now, but guess what, we're just gonna go home and spend an hour making cookies together, and that's gonna be our time. Would it, does it equal? No. um, Spending time with our children is more important than the pair of jeans they wear.
Absolutely.
Quality time and time invested in them and hold them, and no matter what age they are. I came from church today before getting online with you, and I asked Alma, hey, can I hold you? And she's taller than me. And she said, yes, can we just lay down? And we had 10 minutes where I just got to hold her, and she's 14, so she's not a baby anymore. I don't literally have to hold her, but it's how we connect. And I connect with my daughter beyond the need of a material thing, where she would just feel so loved because she has new iPods. No.
That brings
And
up
also, go ahead, I'm sorry.
that brings up an interesting point, though, is that you are a single parent. I too am a single parent, and we get judged a lot for being a single parent. But what's been the hardest pill for you to swallow as a single parent?
um I feel like instead of judged, I get a lot of people that admire who my daughter is. Let me think about being judged. I don't know if I can tell somebody judging me for something, or maybe I'm just obnoxious and I don't see it. Not necessarily. Okay, I do have something that maybe a lot of people judge me for, and it's a mixture between personal and business. In my business, I get to meet a lot of people, and I get to help a lot of people. Sometimes those people that I get to meet, I don't work with just with families, like in general middle income families, but sometimes those people tend to be single men. And a lot of people have this impression that I just go see a lot of men.
Hmm.
When those people, those clients, I, meet those clients and get to help them in their financial situation to be better or to get better. When maybe from outside, people that don't know exactly what is going on and what's the purpose of our meeting would be like, oh, she's at Starbucks with another guy.
Gotcha.
So the hardest pill to swallow as a single parent is the image that maybe being in business, people think that's the model that she, presents to her daughter. My daughter goes to me to most, I want to say 99.9% of my meetings. And she understands that we're going to those meetings because it's business, not because those men are anything that I want. So that's probably the only thing that I could tell or that I can recall right now. People being like, another guy.
I can feel you on that one. I can feel you on that one.
And it's
And
a little ridiculous, but honestly, if I would sit there and, listen to every judgment that somebody has on me or really care what they think of me, I wouldn't be in business. I wouldn't be able to pay my bills. I wouldn't be financial independent and living on my own in a single family home. I wouldn't be where I am if I would listen to my neighbor. Oh, another car, another boyfriend.
gotcha. Makes total sense, though. I mean, people automatically assume because we're doing what we're doing that
Yeah.
it's just for attention or it's just for to try and gain something, an advantage or something like that. It's not fair. Um, as single parents, one of the hardest things that we have to deal with on a normal daily basis is that we have to be both parents. And for me, well, the hardest aspect of me is while I am empathetic, I do not have that, what do you call that, feminine side of things. So when it comes to raising my daughter, I don't have that motherly instinct into it. So it's a little bit more harsh. It's a little bit more, get over it. Yes, you were hurt. Somebody said something mean. Get over it. I'm not going to fight your battles for you. I'm not going to go after every kid that made fun of you and go to their parents' house and say, your kid is a horrible kid. And it's like, I'm trying to teach her to not be that little uh, whiny little baby, I guess.
Yeah.
And I get judged on that by mothers. Like, why don't you be a little bit more soft on her? It's like, because the world's not soft. I'm sorry.
Yes. Yeah. I tell my daughter to always remember who she is and not think about herself from other people's points of view. Maybe there was an incident. Oh my God. I always told her, if you get bullied at school, just beat them up. I don't care. We're gonna go. If they suspend you from school, I will reward you, and we're gonna go on vacation, get out of town, and just for the time you're suspended, we'll just don't do it. Don't put up with their bully and none of that. Just stand up for yourself and tell them no. So she was, I want to say, in fifth grade. And this boy bullied her, and she hit him in the face with her lunchbox. And she came home, and she was like, and she came home and she had a note from the teacher because she did that. And I was like, high five, good for you. So to this day, she now, she's almost in high school. She's in eighth grade. So she's able to identify and not really take it to heart if she gets hurt. Like, somebody would say something mean. She's thinking, well, maybe they're just having a hard day. That's not who I am. My hair is gorgeous. It's not you know what I mean? Like she has so much confidence, and she has so much strength that everything that comes her way just hits a wall because she's very strong in her belief.
And
Um,
that's the way it's supposed to be.
yeah.
I'm tired of reading all of these comments of people. My son was bullied today and he cried, and isn't it so sad? It's like, tell your son to grow a pair and pick up a little bit and bully back, for crying out loud. Don't be a little. Oh, I don't want to swear too much on this show, but I had something happen over the course of this past couple weeks that really kind of floored me and told me that I was a bad father because of it. And I was like, "Are you serious?" Because my daughter has an ability to floor people with her tongue, meaning if somebody's mean, she will hit it right back and be 10 times worse. And that kid will then all of a sudden go crying to their mom. And too many helicopter parents will then go, "Why did your daughter bully my daughter?" I'm like, "Your daughter asked for a roast battle, and my daughter roasted your daughter, and your daughter couldn't take it. That's not on me. That's on you." So I got told I was a horrible father because of that. And it floored me for a minute because I've taken such pride in being this father that's actually done what I needed to do. And I look at them and I'm proud of both of them. And my son, who got his first job, who's been going every single day in his first job, got his first paycheck. And you know what he did with his first paycheck? He took us all out to dinner. He was like, "Dad, you've taken us out to dinner so many times. I want to do that for you." And we got to enjoy dinner together.
Did you cry?
Oh God, not at the table though. And then when I got home and everybody was finally asleep,
Yeah.
generally when I cry alone, so that not too many people see me. Oh God, this has been such a great interview, Theodora. You bring up so many. I have to say that some of the best memories I've had in the past few years have been with you. Um, our little coffee shop that we went to, we talked, and then I talked to that guy that was across the way, and it's just like you bring out the best in people, and I just absolutely love that. So I've always called you a beautiful soul.
Thank you.
Older, if you could go back and tell your younger self any advice, what would you tell your younger self?
Go for it. Don't wait. Do it. Just do it. There's so many things that I would tell myself. If I could go back to 25 or I don't know. I went to a university that I didn't want to go to. I went, I wanted to be a touristic guide, and I ended up going to technical engineering because I couldn't get a scholarship. I missed it by 2 points, 0.2 points, 0.02 points.
Wow.
And my father was his way of encouraging was through negative, and he told me that I'm not going to do anything in life because I didn't get into that. So I was so ambitious. I pulled together all the ounce of ambition I had in my body, and I went and I took a math test, and I got in the hardest university in my city, and I became an engineer, but I hated it. I didn't want to be an engineer. I didn't want to go to that college. I did it just to prove to him that I am going to be somebody. And if I were to go back, I don't know if I would do that. I don't know if I would have wasted 6 years of my life to become an engineer because I'm not practicing because I hate it. So would I, but if you ask me, I admire my ambition, right? Like,
Oh, absolutely.
I'm going to stand out. I'm going to show you. Like, I'm going to show you. And if I'm graduating and I don't have a job. And again, I'm going to show you, I'm going to go to America. Nobody in my family, entire family, left the country before me. Nobody ever flew, like was in an airplane before me in my family. Nobody flew, nobody left the country anywhere. And what did I do? I'm going to show you, right? So would I keep that? Absolutely. But if I were to tell Teodora that's 19, 18, 19, I'd be like, follow what you want to do. And this ambition in that, it's not healthy. Like, it's not productive. It's not good for your life to prove somebody something, even if it's your parent, just to prove it. Do something to prove something that's beneficial for you. Otherwise, you're just losing 6 years out of your life, and you put all the mind you have into a really hard university, to every exam, to, it was not easy. It's very, very hard. For
I'm sure you learned some skills that you can use in real life from your engineering degree, though. I mean,
yeah, math that I'm using now in.
there you go.
There were classes, yes, and if it's not completely lost, right? If I want to go with my degree and equalizing and do something with it, I could. But I would tell myself, do what you want, and just know I've learned I feel like late in my life, I learned that other people's expectation of me is none of my business. I need to do what I need to do for me, and I want to, I have to learn the lessons that I am. Obviously, you should listen to your parents. If you're listening to this and you're young, listen to your parents, guide, but do it together. Kind of. I don't force my daughter to go to a school she doesn't want to go to, because that's what I want for her. I talk to her, I merge with her and meet her needs and support her where she is, but it's what she wants to do. I don't think I would do what other people want me to do with my life.
That's beautiful. I mean, however, I do have to say that some of the best things that I have accomplished in my life were in spite of being told I couldn't. Like what you said with your dad, your dad tells you you're not going to be something. So in spite of that, you went and go be something. And whatever motivates us, I mean, is what it is. It's that catalyst that sends us propelling into the next aspect of our lives that so many times we forget about because we get so, comfort. Like, I've got the house, I've got the car, I've got the money, I've got this, I've got that, and we get comfortable, so we don't push ourselves. So sometimes we just need that little catalyst.
I wish it would have been on a positive side from him rather than the negative. He told me, I remember when I signed the mortgage on my house, on my home, and I was 30, I want to say 33. For the first time ever, I could hear him saying, "I'm proud of you." It's kind of late.
Yes, but you said so yourself. When it comes to Romania, I mean, things are hard. Life was a little bit more difficult back then. You can only pay for what you have with the money that you have. So as a male in Romania at that time, it's difficult. I mean,
I had really good parents. They were focused on providing everything we need, and they worked. We're a family of 5. My father passed many years ago, but between him and my mom, and our sisters, I'm the youngest of 3 sisters. We had to work the land. I was born when the communism was still, present in Romania. Ceausescu was ruling the country, and everything was ratioed. We couldn't. speaking of this, in my book, I describe how hard it was to grow under communism when we couldn't drive our car because it was restricted by the license plate. And if you were found on the street with on the weekend, it was the weekend on, weekend off. On the weekend, you're not supposed to be on the street. You would get fined, and you could not afford that fine.
Yeah.
So travel was restricted. Oil and flour and bread. I had my job, being the youngest, my mom, we had a card, and the card was marked when we would get the bread for the day, and it was 2.5 loaves for a family of 5 for the day. You could not get more. If you wanted more, you could maybe make some bread at home. But same with flour and oil, and so because of that, we had to work the land, and we had my father had land from where he was born, from his parents, and we went there and we would grow corn and potatoes, and we had a little farm with animals, and every Christmas we would cut a pig to have meat for the year, and we had chickens, and we never had, we were never hungry. We never had not have food, but we worked all day. My dad was an ambulance driver. He would come home from work and he would have to go feed the pigs and make sure the chickens are closed, the cup closed in before we would go home, have dinner, and go to sleep and wake up at 5. And that's how I grew up.
Well, I'm proud of you, Theodora.
Thank you.
I I think, in spite of everything that you've gone through, you really are an amazing person. Watching you and everything that you do, you between your business, your daughter, life, everything that you and I have talked about and have experienced together, you just shine with all of this beauty and positivity. It's really one of the rarest aspects of the world to be able to experience that. And I am proud of you for everything that you have done and as far as you've gotten and where you are and what you're continuing to do.
Thank you. I remember, I had a lapsus a minute ago, but I remember what TBAR stands for. Thought becomes believes, beliefs become actions, and actions become results. Thoughts, believe, A for actions, R for results. TBAR.
See, I told you 5 minutes before we end, you're going to come back to you. It was going to be right there.
It came right to me, and I wrote it down so I don't forget.
That's how it works. That's exactly how it works. Well, we're coming up to the end of the episode here, but there's a few questions I want to ask you
Okay,
before.
I'll be sure.
Number one, what's the best advice you have ever received?
The best advice I received was other people's expectations of you is none of your business. And that was from a really old man who I enjoyed sitting down and talking to, listening to him. He was a very, very wise man, very wise. And he would just pour his mind and his spirit and his everything he had to me. I enjoyed sitting down with him. He was very old when I met him. He passed many, many years ago. But he told me that other people's expectations of you is none of your business.
I love that. I need to start taking that for my own as well.
Yeah.
Other people's expectations are none of your business. I like that. Tomorrow is December 1st. And then it is starting the last month of the year. And then we come to the new year. Do you have any New Year's resolutions set for next year?
My new year started on October 1st because
You're like me.
I said, this is the last quarter. I set the stage for the next year. And it's not, the fact that we changed the month. December 1st is not different than January 1st. It's okay. It keeps going. Resolutions are, if we set them, starting January 1st, I'm going to go to the gym, and we never go, or we go for 4 days. And no, I want to do better tomorrow, and I'm not going to wait for January 1st to do something that I want to do, right? I'm working on a few business licenses that I need in order to take my business to the next level. But I'm not going to wait until, January 1st to start studying. I started studying way before so that I can take action now. It's not any difference that it's 2026 compared to 2025. It's still rolling, and I don't make a difference that it's a new year.
I love that. I love that. And agreed. However, January 1st, 2025, this year, I had a resolution to be more grateful, to have more gratitude. So for the entire year, I have done that. I'm actually proud of myself for keeping this resolution where I have gratitude every single day and be thankful for what you have, for what I'm doing. So what do you have gratitude for?
Oh, that's so interesting. Watch. So on my desk, I have, if I have a journal, and it says start each day with a grateful heart.
Nice.
So when I sit at my desk every morning, it's waiting for me. It's right here, and I open it and I write in it, and I write by the date, and I write so January, February, March, April. I write 10 things that I'm grateful for in that moment, and that's how I start my day. And I mean, if you want, I can write, like, I can choose one. I'm grateful for the people in my life because they motivate me. And I wrote that on October 30th. I'm
Nice.
grateful for my mother because she's there for me. I am grateful for my brain to retain information. Like, sometimes I'm grateful for different things because I'm in the moment and I'm thinking about those. Sometimes I'm grateful for the same thing days at a time because that's where I am. Um, I'm grateful for the time I have to study because I choose to. That's one of the lines. Um, I'm grateful for my best friends because they're supportive and they're for me. Um, I'm grateful each and every day, and I find things in the smallest things. I could be grateful for the trash can one day because I have where to put my trash.
There you
Um,
go.
like, there's so many things to be grateful for. Um,
Absolutely.
it's 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 very easy to find it, and having that, starting there, and finding things to be grateful for. If that's how I start my day, I just shine all day, right? We
Oh,
can
yeah.
say, because
Exa-
it sets up.
Absolutely. And it changes your entire attitude because if you're having a bad day, we all have bad days. We all have negative things that happen to us or some trauma that we have to overcome. But if you can be grateful that even if it's the smallest thing of I am grateful that I am alive at this moment, and that's all you have to be grateful for in that moment. At least it changes the attitude a little bit that way.
I have to tell you, there were days I I promise I wrote in my journal, I am grateful I had a bad day yesterday,
Mm,
because I can recognize the difference from a bad day to a good day, and I can be joyful that I have good days, but I wouldn't be able to see the difference before if I wouldn't have a bad day. We can't just be in the light all the time. We have to be in the dark so that we can recognize the good the light brings. So when
absolutely.
I recognized, um, when I've learned all this through a lot of personal growth and reading and all the books in the world that I could read, I was able to identify the tornado that was the divorce, right? Like back in 2013 when I was in that ugly divorce, I was able to forgive Anna's father and leave it in the past and move forward because I could see, yes, that was a really ugly tornado. It's dark, but look where we are now. And the light at the end of the tunnel never fails to like come. It's always there. We just have to go through the tunnel. But if we don't go through the dark, how do we see the light?
Absolutely. For me, when I was at my lowest and in the dark, I looked for a spark, because a spark can turn to a flame can turn to a fire, and a fire can light your way out of the dark. And sometimes you just need to find that little spark because it will light up that dark.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. That's actually part of my next book.
Good.
Before we go, is there anything you... Oh, no, wrong question. Wrong question. Sorry. Is there anything you wish to share with our viewers about how they can get in contact with you about setting up financial guidance?
I feel like the easiest way, I mean, just Google me. Just go on Google and say Teodora Moga, and then there will come things there. I've been a guest in a few podcasts, and so that was where I think it will pop first. But I'm very active on Facebook. I recognize maybe not everybody has Facebook. I do have a Google page. Financial. I'm also in the notary business, so it's like a mixture of financial education with the notary, and I'm active in the Romanian community as a translator. But my phone number is there. And I have to tell you, there's so many people from all over the country find me on Google because they just Google Romanian translator or something Romanian related, and my phone number is listed.
Nice.
On Facebook, I'm active. I'm there all the time. I don't use Instagram because I feel like I can't just spread everywhere. I choose to be on Facebook only, and that's where I have time. To if I have time for social media, I choose one, and that's Facebook.
There you go. And your links are on the promotional page for this podcast. And it will be on the YouTube promotional page as we send out. So
Thank you.
they can click on that and they can find you, and you can get them set up and talk and have a conversation and get people squared away better for the future.
That's awesome. Yes, absolutely. So many people need it. It's interesting how little of them actually take action and say, "I need help."
That's the hardest
There's
thing
many.
to say.
There's many reasons why. Some people are embarrassed. Some people are ignorant and they just don't care. I've heard it. I've heard people saying, "I don't care about, just bury me, throw me. I don't care. My kids, they'll figure it out." There are these kind of people too. Not many, but but
Yeah.
the majority of people do want to take action. People do want to make sure they leave. They leave a will, for example, which is so easy to do, and just everybody knows what they're supposed to do. And this is my last wish, and just make it happen. But I'm here.
I think people have forgotten about planning. A lot of our society just lives for the moment, and they don't think about planning for the future. And when you don't plan for the future, when the future comes, you're not ready for it. So learn now to plan, think ahead, see more than just the few feet ahead of you. Look down that road and see what's coming, what can come. Be able to understand that life isn't always going to be what it is right now. It's going to constantly change. If that's one thing that I have learned in this world, is that change is constant.
You went through some really good changes, though, so very proud of you.
Thank you, Teodora. That means a lot to me. Like I keep telling you, you're one of my most favorite people in the world, and to find me where I was at the bottom, to be able to help me get out of it and see and just feel that positivity is exactly what I needed. And I appreciate everything that you and I have gone through together.
You're welcome.
Well, I want to thank you for coming on to my podcast, Shine with Curiosity and Encouragement. Is there anything you wish to say before we end our show?
Again, it was an honor to be on your show. Thank you for the time, and thank you for setting the stage and bring me on. I'm sure that we can talk forever, and we could talk for hours, and we could always, come up with lots of questions. And but it was an honor to be here. Thank you very much.
You're most certainly very welcome. Hang out in the green room while I end the show, and I'll bring you back on and we'll talk. Thank you for coming on this week and spending your Sunday with me, and we'll talk momentarily. That I just gotta say, I love Teodora. Teodora has so much of my heart that I can never thank her enough for everything that she did for me. A lot of people out there know my story. They know what happened, and when I was at the bottom of rock bottom, I mean, just horrible, evil, not wanting to go on, living in my car, Teodora found me, and she is actually the voice of the first book on YouTube. So if anybody has seen that, that is Teodora's voice. She's the one that narrated the first book on YouTube, and we've just grown ever since. And I implore everybody out there to find a beautiful soul of a person, or be a beautiful soul, and live the life that, be positive, live for the best things in life. We're coming up into the Christmas season, and I know that a lot of people are so stressed out about presents or decorations or family coming to visit or travel plans or anything like that. But remember, it's not always about that. It's about that time that we give to each other as humans. It's about that love that we share. It's about being that spark in life and spreading that around the world. Thank you for spending your Sunday evening with me here on Shine with Curiosity and Encouragement podcast. Be sure to check us out next week as we have another awesome guest. I hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving, and we will see you guys next week. Have a good night.
Ever dreamed of seeing your name on the cover of a book? As a book publisher, we understand the challenges of self-publishing. If you're lost in the process, wondering about illustrators, book coaches, or formatting issues, worry not. At Soul Sunshine, we're here to guide you. Let's turn your dream into reality. Contact us to get started.